Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back. Now, it's so dark outside, so I thought I'm gonna film this in the bedroom, on the bed, cozy. I know it's not the best visual, but it is what it is. I am gonna make a video anyway, so today is the video that I'm gonna talk about has been requested, and it's about 5 steps of manifesting. So I know some of you have seen the film The Secret. I think it came out 2007, I think, something around that year, could be that year. And there's 2 versions of it. Now, I've seen the one with Esther in it, and I know once when I heard that there was a film without her, I was like, what? And then I tried even finding the film without her, but I couldn't. Obviously, you can now, but so the video is basically maybe an intro in all the, like the secret of the vibration and stuff like that, although they don't mention it and then they don't really talk about it enough. And I've heard so many people saying the secret has remained the secret because they haven't actually spoken about the most important bit in the film. It's not something that you should say, oh, now I know it. If you see that film, or if you saw that film, it's not like, oh, that's everything. That's just literally the tip of the iceberg. Well, not literally, but it's really a tip of an iceberg. And it's just and only just an intro. So the everything is so much deeper. The teachings is so much deeper than that. And if you want to watch it, it's really good. I that's how I started. My brother actually introduced me to the film. And if you haven't seen it, it's really good just so you can maybe get the gist of it. But again, it's just an intro. So in the film, Esther, the version that I've seen, Esther speaks about the 3 steps of manifesting. And I think everyone pitches in a bit. But I listen to, Abraham Hicks all the time. So for me, again, that's how I started as well, Abraham Hicks afterwards. When after the Secret, that's how I continued. So I think maybe they're sort of, I think they are the one who started talking about the steps. But anyway, so the steps in the film are 3, and I am going to try and explain you this as much as I possibly can, because I see that a lot of you are a bit confused about the steps, because some of you confuse steps with methods and so on and so forth. Sorry, I got the okay. I got the text. Mom, I'll text you later. Okay, so but today there's actually 5 steps. Now I'm gonna get into that. So in The Secret, the first 3 steps are, so first step is wishing. If you haven't heard, people talk about the vortex. So the vortex is this level of vibration, as I try to explain it, where all the, let's say, our wishes are in the vortex. Let's put it like that, so you can maybe understand it a bit better. I'm trying to, explain to you as much as I can so you can understand it. And when you wish for something, let's say, you don't even have to do it on purpose. You don't have to say it out loud. You don't have to think about it. But let's say you have to pay something, you don't have the money. Your wish straight went out to the vortex. So that's the wishing process. So either you see something that you like and then, okay, I want it. Either something happens to you that you don't want it and then a wish goes out into the vortex, or whatever it is, it doesn't matter the way it happens, but your wish goes there. And let's say it's like this little tiny bubble, they call it vortex, of all of your wishes. Now, that's step number 1. So step number 1 is wishing. Again, you don't have to say it out loud. You don't have to, oh, universe, I want this. It could be even something that you even forgot you put it there. Maybe something happened 5 years ago and just the wish was sent and it's there and you've even forgot about it. But every single thing that you ever wished for is in that vortex. Basically, it holds the wishes for you until you get the level of vibration and reach it and get it. Let's put it like that. So if you ever wished for £1,000,000, dollars, euros, whatever it is, it's there, or even more. So the second step is now, whether you're gonna call it universe, God, the higher force, whatever it is, it's bringing that to you. Now, it's not really maybe bringing it as organizing the way so you can reach it, in terms of making sure that you maybe go on the roads where you can reach it, or go to that park maybe where you can reach it, or just organizing it, because in a way everything that you ever wished for already exists. And that's sometimes a bit hard to grasp, like, but I just wish for it, how come it exists? So everything, let's say you have TV, you have 100 channels on it, even more, even less, it doesn't matter. Let's say you're on the channel 1, that doesn't mean that 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 20 doesn't exist. So all of them are still there, but you're holding the remote and you're holding that frequency that you are on that channel 1. Let's say even the same with the radio. So you're on that particular station, but that doesn't mean that all those other stations don't exist. So the second step isn't up to you either, because let's say even first isn't, because it goes automatically. So the second step is just making sure that everything comes in your way, or it's organized to come to your way. Now the third step is ours, meaning we have to come to that level of vibration that I've mentioned a few times in my videos. Let's say your wish is here and you're here, so you have to raise your vibration up in order to get there. So if you, let's say, have a wish to have $1,000,000, because most of us, including me, one of the things is money. It is one of the biggest challenges, I think, for the human race in general, because we've been taught that there is not enough money and so on and so forth, but that's not the point here. But let's say you want that £1,000,000, dollars, euros, whatever it is that you want. But you keep saying, oh, I don't have enough money. You're on vibration when you see something in the store, I don't have money to buy that. I want to go there, oh, but I can't afford it. I want to do this, but every single thing that you do for yourself in here, it's not going to get you here. And that's where the methods come in. So the methods aren't the step. Methods help you to raise your vibration. Changing the beliefs are the main thing in third step, because if you're convinced and it's your core belief that you can't get $1,000,000, euros, pounds, you won't get it. Just because it's what you believe. And I know I say this to people, like, beliefs create your reality, and I'm so convinced in it, and again, it's my truth. But they're like, but how can it be just a belief, because I don't have that money, so it's not just belief, it's the truth. Your belief is that you can't have it. And it is maybe something that for some people it's really hard to, let's say, accept the responsibility, because everything that happens to us is our responsibility. And even in The Secret, they say, oh, I didn't attract that car crash, or I think it's called car crash. And they're like, yeah, you did, with your vibration. And again, it is hard, because we are so used to, we've been taught nothing is our fault. Don't ever try to blame yourself. But we've been taught that it's someone else's fault when something happens, or even if it's our fault, but we beat ourselves up, instead of maybe if we make an error or we fail, we say, okay, I can learn from this. The school system is like that as well. So you get an F, you failed, and all of a sudden you're a failure. It's mentally so easy to get into that spiral. God forbid you come home with an F or something and you're I don't know what would have. I mean, I was a good um, student back in school, but I remember once I got all A's and I got a B, and my father was like, "Why do you have a B? What about those all A's?" So again, if you had an F, it's probably good, a bit more maybe challenge it. Again, it does. I don't know how your parents were like or whoever raised you, but everything around us is like in a way designed. I've been brought up like that. That's why I'm talking like this. To if we do something, it's a failure. But that's why everyone goes back to the babies when they still don't think in that sense. They don't fall and like, okay, I fail, I'm never gonna walk again, or I'm never gonna learn how to get up, or I'm never gonna learn how to crawl because I maybe tripped. I'm never gonna do that again. You just keep on going. And for me, it is rewarding to know, okay, I failed here, but I've learned something from it. Because I did this, I'm closer to what I want. So that's the third step. Third step is raising your vibration. It's whether it's through meditation, whether it's through gratitude journal, whether it's through EFT, whether it's to affirmations, whether it's to whatever Ho'oponopono. I can't pronounce that. Okay, Google it. So there are so many different things, whether it's again taking a nap. I constantly talk about what you can do, but maybe it's again your first time you've ever heard of this, you don't know, and that's why I keep repeating myself. And I know that something for someone is gonna click in that video, and I don't want not to say something just because I've mentioned it maybe before. So everything that is making you happier, even watching comedies, even listening to the music that feels good, whatever it may be to raise your vibration, it's good. Whether it's talking about new stories, so it hasn't happened yet, but you're, fake it till you make it. Any single thing that works for you, or you want to try because you think it's gonna work, just try. And that's the main thing. Try anything that you can, anything that feels okay, maybe this is gonna resonate with me, I'll try this. That's with every single step that you raise your vibration, you're closer to getting what you want, whether it's love, money, doesn't matter, whatever your wish is. Now, those are the 3 steps that are mentioned in The Secret. So again, steps aren't methods. This is just the way you manifest every single thing in your life. I mean, I as well, all of us. It's just the way it goes. So there's a law of gravity basically, and there's law of the attraction as they call it. Now you don't attract anything, it's just the way it's called, but you do get on that vibrational level. So I think in the beginning maybe it was easier to say attraction, law of attraction, but obviously now we learn more, we've been taught more, we discover more. A very good film for you to watch as well, if you haven't seen it, is What the Bleep Do We Know? It's about quantum physics, but it's so well explained. You're not gonna, even if you know nothing about physics, don't worry about it. They explain everything so good. After you've seen the first What the Bleep Do We Know, there's a sequel. And in the sequel, What the Bleep Do We Know 2, they do, if it's called 2, but it's a sequel, they do put some things in from the first film. But I've actually tried putting the second part first to my partner, because I'm like, there's a lot of bits from the first part, so he'll probably be able to, understand it all. And he was so confused, and I'm like, I should have put the first film first. So if you find the sequel, try to see the first film first and then watch the sequel, because then you'll know more, and then when you hear this extra bits, you won't get confused like he got confused. But the first film, it's not confusing at all. It's so good explained, and that's where all these things with vibration and everything, it's already been proven through quantum physics as well. So you have lots of scientific discovery proves that this is true. Now, I'm not a scientist, I'm not a doctor or anything, but try and find books, read people's stuff. There's tons of it today, and I've started when there was no scientific proof, when rarely who was talking about it. Not starting in terms of more as believing. I knew that was my truth. I knew that when I heard that, I'm like, that actually makes sense for me. So, listening more to Abraham, you discover that there's actually fourth and fifth step. Now, we're expanding, and it's like The Secret, they didn't mention vibration in the beginning because they were afraid that they're gonna, people are not gonna accept the film as it is. There's, always stuff that we maybe discover afterwards, and then they tell us afterwards because we are ready now. And so fourth and fifth step weren't mentioned in The Secret, but you can find Abraham Hicks, and you can find out maybe more. Now, there are some people that don't like Esther's voice, so I think that's one of the reasons that so many of us talk about this, because maybe with one of us, you'll understand it more, it's gonna click for you, you'll be able to watch it more. Maybe, some of the people you don't want to listen to, you don't really resonate with them. But the core of the teaching is basically the same. And maybe we have a different language, different, voice, but most of us that have gone deeper into it. So it's not just like, oh, I'm going to think positive and, it's going to work out. If you're like that, nothing is going to work out. Well, not nothing, but, you're not going to change but like, okay, I'm going to think positive. So, fourth step is that Abraham, I think, calls it like beating the drum, in terms of beating the drum of happiness, continuing to be on that high vibration. So most of us, all of us are vibrating, even rocks are vibrating. So everyone has their own vibration. Now, positive people go down, let's say they're here, but they go down and up and down, but they're more in this, let's say, higher vibration, whereas negative people are on lower vibration and then go up from time to time, and then they go down. So our fourth step in manifesting what we want is to be on that vibration as constantly as we can. Obviously, we can't do it all the time. We're not supposed to be doing it all the time unless we're monks and sitting in the forest 24 hours a day. I don't want to be a monk. I don't want to sit in meditation 24 hours. I don't want to even do it. Some people do it 5. I don't want to. I want to live a life happily. I want to experience this material world as well. I want to be spiritual. I want to be, I want to have a taste of all of it. So I don't want to be just, happy sitting under the tree monk. Although I love trees, I love nature, I love every single bit of it. Again, I don't have anything against monks. Don't think like, oh, okay, Sanja doesn't like monk. No, I just don't want to be one. But that's basically what you do. So you do in a day every single thing that you can, so you can raise your vibration up. You don't need a lot of time. You don't need, hours. Even if you choose one method, choose whatever it is that you can. In changing the belief system is really the main thing that you should do for yourself. And with changing your beliefs, the better is and easier it's going to be. Your focus, changing your focus. So when something happens, teach yourself when something happens, instead of to, be there all the time and looking at that from that perspective, to look from the other side, to look from the, what was good in this? What did I learn in this? How can I be better than this? What are my blessings in life? Don't be focused on this. Be focused on what you have. That sort of thing. You can't do it every day all at once just like this because of so many years, but you can teach yourself everything you can teach yourself. Now, the fifth step, the final step out of the 5 steps, is contrast. Now, a lot of people don't like contrasts, and I was so like, why do we need contrasts? So, contrast is something when something happens when you don't want it, but it's, can't say necessary, but it's the reason why you make the first step in the beginning. So, you wouldn't be able to know what white is without black. You wouldn't be able to know what the dark is without light. So, but just because you've seen the dark doesn't mean that it's bad, and doesn't mean that you have to focus on it now. Okay, there's dark, there's dark, there's dark, there's dark, there's dark. There's both dark and light. So contrasts is something that happens that you don't want, that you think you don't want, but it just makes you send the wish. So it happens so you can make the first step, so you can continue manifesting. So the fifth step is contrast. Again, nothing out of steps is methods, because I see so confused people. I know I've said this again, but maybe you didn't hear me. So steps are not methods. Steps aren't something that you're gonna be, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We do it for logical reasons, and so that we can understand it, but it's happening whether we want it or not. It's there. Again, like law of gravity, it just happens. I don't know if you're gonna, got up on the wrong foot that day and everything just spiraled that way, just because you let it spiral that way. Every single time that maybe, something happens that you don't want, just don't focus on it if you can. Again, let's say there's a bill that you have to pay. Don't think about it 24/7. No, I can't pay it. I can't pay it. What am I going to do? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? Oh my God, I can't pay it. I can't pay it. How am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? Stop. Just stop. Anyhow that you can, but understanding that there is a necessary step for you to get this, so that you can send the wish, so that you can get it. Try to think about that step number 3 in terms of it's your responsibility to raise your vibration. If you're on the 4th step, there are some people that say this again. Okay, so I'm meditating, it's been 2 years, let's say 2 years, someone less, someone more, nothing is going on in my life, everything is pretty much the same. Or if I'm so happy and I was happy and everything has been going out well, how come this happened? And they're like, oh my God, then, what happened? What's wrong? Nothing is wrong. So the 5th step is necessary for the first. When something happens that you don't want, you say, oh my God, because of this, I'm going to expand. Let's raise my vibration even more. It's going to happen. It's going to manifest. It's going to be even better now. That's all that is. So when something happens that you don't want, try to, again, I keep saying try, because for people who haven't done this, who are, it's not easy. It's not easy, but it's worth it. It's so worth it. And you don't have to reach the rock bottom. You don't have to be one of those stories that have been at the bottom and then they raised above and everything because they didn't have anything to lose. Even if you're happy, even if you're somewhere underneath or somewhere above, wherever you are, doesn't matter how old you are, it doesn't matter where you come from. Everything that does matter is that decision that you make, that you're gonna try and give yourself a better life. And even if you don't believe in this, at least tell yourself, okay, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it for 30 days and I'm gonna do it every single day, see what happens. But determined, I'm gonna do this right, I'm gonna do this properly. If I say do affirmations but with emotion, to believe in it, okay, tomorrow is gonna be a better day, I'm gonna feel better, it's just gonna get better from this. Try and really, really feel it, even if it takes you a minute, 5 minutes, even if you don't believe the first day, but make your goal to get that emotion out of you however you possibly can. Again, whether it's through films, whether it's through music, try and challenge yourself to get that emotion, because the emotion is gonna get you that vibration that you want. People who have millions and millions of pounds and euros and dollars, they don't wish for money. they already have it. So when you achieve that emotion of not needing it, that's when you'll have it. But not, okay, I don't need it, but inside of you, you're like, I need it, I need it. See what I'm getting at? So contrast is a bit maybe trickier in terms of maybe it needs a whole video about it, so I can explain it to you a bit better, because this has been 25 minutes now. But I'm really hoping that I explain the steps, because I think they are the main thing. If you get them, that's it. That's it. So contrast, whenever there is something that you don't want, just know that that is a necessary step for you to go to step number 1, so you can get and manifest what you want. And that's it. I really should wrap this up. I am so glad that you honestly just keep sending questions, send requests for videos, what you want. I will make them, and I'm so, I just can't explain to you how happy I am that I'm able to do this, that I am able to share this with you, that I'm able to, you know, change someone's life, and that I'm just reminding you who you are. And I've heard this before, but I'm like, no, you do it so much more. But honestly, I am just reminding you who you are, because when you remember who you are, how powerful you are, how you can create anything that you ever wanted, how you can be so happy and so joyous, and how you can just glide through this life, and, you know, just appreciate yourself even more, and everything, just somehow everything falls into place, and it's still so energetic, so good, so nice, so wonderful, so, yeah, again, you are who you are. I know sometimes I tell my partner, oh my god, you're so sexy, or you're so goddamn cute. It's like, oh, I don't feel like it at the moment. But that's what you should do for yourself. Feel it. No, even before I used to tell him, well, you are. You forgot how powerful you are, you forgot how cute you are, you forgot everything, but you really, really are. You're beautiful, you're powerful, you're gorgeous. I believe in you. I believe that you can do anything that you ever want, and that you can be happy, and that you can be joyous, and that you can be free, and that you can have peace. And I think all of us wants happiness and to have peace inside of ourselves. That's why everyone is craving it. Love. Everything is love. And that's who we are. And if you forgot it, I'm gonna be here reminding you that you are. So yeah, that's enough from me, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Send me a comment down below, you know, what topics do you want me to talk about. Like this video if you like it. Please subscribe so we can share this message, and so we can, you know, remind as many people as we possibly can how powerful they are. And you are powerful, and I'm gonna, you know, continue using that word, because I think it's so darn good, and it describes maybe one of the, you know, best words that describes who we really are. So yeah, love you all, and see you in the next video. Bye.